Hello, Anders.
Hello.
Mm. Welcome to another hero story where I'm very excited to hear a little bit more about your journey, your hero's journey, and also, well, who you are, because you've been in the path for some time. You've been in the tribe sphere, but we haven't really met personally. So I'm very curious, firstly, to hear who you are and where you live and how you got into touch with the hero tribe.
Mm. Yes, I'm from Norway. I grew up on the west coast of Norway, but I'm in Oslo now. And yeah, I'm closing in on 50 years old. I'm working in finance with organizational development, and yeah, that's a short thing about me. I love being in nature and in the forest and the mountains in Norway. And yeah, I guess like 10 years ago, I was like this typical career hunting finance guy who was just thinking that a great career, big money, big house, a nice car, it was like the meaning of life. And then I kind of fell into a coaching course that was NLP coaching. And it really just shook my view of life and kind of story we're generating about our life. It was a very good introduction to how we create our own story and how we kind of that can become both a prison and a possibility, or can take energy or give energy. And I was just, wow, this is so important to be aware of how we create our story, and when we become the victim and when we become like the hero, as I eventually discovered the hero's journey. It was actually one of the teachers in the course that or the study coaching study that used hero's journey to kind of exemplify how important it is to be the writer of your own story and to be the hero in your own story. And it just clicked with for me very, very strongly. It was felt so important. So somewhere in those years that I was studying, I found a hero's journey book or whatever it's called, that's written by the Hero Tribe and all those leaders there. And yeah, I guess I was looking for more inspiration on the hero's journey and other environments where I could discuss it and learn about it. And at the same time, me and this teacher started our own course. That was a leader course, but still the red or the main thing in the course was the hero's journey. So we used a lot of Jungian psychology and a lot of cool techniques to kind of guide the people in the course to understand the hero's journey and to follow the principles and to become heroes. And I was also interacting with the hero tribe and trying out their view of this hero's journey, which is a bit more inspired by Eastern philosophy and uh, Qigong and stuff like that, while this thing that we were developing in our course was more like Western inspired by Western thinking. So it was interesting to see these two differences and kind of learn from both of them. Yeah, that pretty much brings me up to today. I'm still searching for more information about Hero's Journey and still actually even using it today as a volunteer to help other men who are kind of working with struggling with life or struggling with mental problems to kind of become a hero in their life. So it's a very good metaphor.
Mm, beautiful. Yes. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
And I'm curious, are you still doing these courses? with your partner, like with your business partner or coaching partner?
He actually started studying again. He is going to become a priest. So that's
Hmm.
a little bit of a change in career, but still, yeah, I can see the kind of red line. So now I'm looking into how I can make it more my own and continue the courses in a different way. So it's probably starting up again pretty soon. I have like the main changes I want to do, and I want to be more in nature. I want to be even closer to like the hero's journey mythology. And, yeah,
Hmm.
and
Mhm.
introduce a few new things like internal family systems, which is something I use a lot. So that's interesting.
Hmm. Yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing. And I'm wondering when you started with the hero's journey, when it crossed your path, how, what was the reason you think? Like, why did it come to you?
I think I needed to change perspective in life. I think I was heading in the wrong direction. I was following this like standard cultural path in our capitalistic culture where you just kind of forget that life has no real meaning and you're just focusing on pleasuring yourself and getting money and stuff that you don't need. And I needed to see through that. And the hero's journey was a big part of like getting me out of that way of living and into a more real way of living where I'm really looking into what I want to do and who I really am and how I can live my life instead of just following someone else's wants and yeah needs somehow.
Hmm. Yes, yes. And what is your current hero's journey about? Is there a specific calling that has been like a knock on your door?
Yeah, I have a few going. The most recent I think is to actually really change my career. Um, During all this work, I've seen that I need to change like step by step, and I've done some changes. But about 3 months ago, I actually quit my job and decided that I wanted to really figure out how I can use this approach into to giving my gift to the world, kind of. Um, So a new version of the course might be as part of it. I'm probably at some point getting back to parts of what I did, working with organizational development, but more focused on people and leaders and the human side of it all. So that's a big hero's journey I'm in.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I think that's the main one now. I'm also working with a few others, but yeah,
Hmm.
keep
Okay.
going.
Okay. So I'd say mostly in the professional field to make
Yeah.
a passionate career.
Yeah, at least that's the most active right now because I'm working on my resume. I'm working on like applying to jobs. I'm working on this course material. I'm working on coaching again, which I haven't done for a few years, and it's big changes. Just half a year ago, I was in a financial institution working like a normal 8 to 4 job. Um, so it's a big change. There's other important hero's journey. My main one in life, the last 10, 15 years, has been this big breakup and just figuring out who I am after a really hard breakup. And I have a few other hero's journey going for sure.
Hmm. Hmm. And what would you say, what is your usual approach of overcoming the obstacles that you encounter on your hero's journey?
Mm. Okay, so first it is just noticing that this happened, kind of like the clouds are gathering or the calling for the hero's journey is like there, but just noticing it is a big part of it. It's so easy to ignore. It's so easy to just scroll on your phone or find some way to forget about it. It could be like a feeling of loneliness or a feeling of something wrong. And I think I'm pretty good at ignoring stuff like that. I'm pretty good at just go to training or yeah. So noticing and kind of accepting shit. This is actually happening. This is not something I necessarily think I want or was wishing for, but it's probably something I should see into and just allow myself to feel and be with it. It's a very hard but important first step, especially for me.
Mm.
Yes, and then after like accepting it and allowing myself to feel sad about this thing, because it's not so often these hero's journeys are very pleasurable, especially in the
Mm.
beginning, like going down into the darkness and down into the abyss. It's hard but necessary. And that's also something I kind of tell myself in this part of the journey, that being a hero means that you need to accept and choose to do these things that can be hard and hurtful and difficult. Being a victim is kind of saying that this happened to me and it's everybody else's fault and I don't want to deal with it. I just want to feel sorry for myself and continuing for that for ages. But being a hero is to see it, and after a while you can feel sorry for a while, but after a while saying, yeah, I'm a hero. I will do this. I will choose to go into this because I know that is the right thing to do and that's the best thing to do eventually.
Mm.
Yeah, and then it's pretty standard hero journey stuff, trying to find a mentor inside or outside, someone who has been there before, somebody who can support me, somebody who can give me the tools to actually really go over the threshold. So good friends, finding places like the Hero Tribe or other what should we call it, groups of people who have the mindset and can help. That will be a good thing to do. I think I'm pretty self-sufficient, unfortunately, you could say. My first instinct is to find this energy in myself and kind of figure it out myself and start this research project, buy a book and all that stuff. And that's good. But the best thing is to find a human mentor or a human helper in this early stage. And sometimes the world just delivers it, like
Mm.
this teacher in this course. His name is Evan. He just showed up exactly when I needed him and became a really important mentor for many years. And when I see back on it now, I think that was like the universe sending him my way because I needed
Mm.
it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful.
and I
Great.
could
It definitely the
continue
mentors
for
just come to you instead of you
yeah,
looking for the mentor, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want me to go through the entire hero's journey
Yeah,
into
you
the?
can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
I
started,
could
so
probably
we better complete the circle.
talk about this for hours, so I'll try to make it short. But one of my favorite and most hated parts, of course, is to really go over the threshold and into the darkness. In theory, I like it because I always been fascinated by the knight going into the cave with a sword and a shield and kind of finding the dragon and the treasure. I like the mythology, and little boy in me really likes this image. But in reality, of course, that's a very hard step to do. And I really love the Jungian perspective of shadow work and to kind of make characters out of these entities that you meet. Uh, Usually, it's like internal parts of the psyche that you have been fighting with for probably a long time. And it's so diffuse and so hard to you have, especially for me, I've been so used to it my entire life to kind of like having these voices and ignoring them or fighting with them or pushing them away and having this struggle. But eventually, when you like do this mythology where you create a character and suddenly you see, oh shit, this is actually a real part of my personality that's I've been talking to for so long, and finally I can listen to it and it can notice that I'm hearing, and I can have this discussion like Young did, and like a lot of new ways of doing this shadow work is like telling us how to do it. It's really interesting. It's very fascinating when you sit in the sofa or wherever and just, wow, this is a real character in my inside that's been there for so long and that I can have a relationship with. So
Mm.
lately I've been using internal family systems. I don't know if you heard about it.
No, no,
No,
not yet.
it's the same thing. It just takes it a few steps further and gives a bit more tools to do the same thing. So they're just like Young, I guess, in many ways. It has this perspective that we have a lot of different personalities in a psyche. Young sometimes could call them archetypes or complexes. Internal family systems call them parts, and it's pretty much the same thing. So when I go into the darkness on my hero's journey, I try to identify these parts. And it's usually in a shadow form because they've been ignored for so long, and they've been becoming more and more hostile because I didn't listen to them or I fought with them. So it's very much shadow work, but sometimes it's also positive forces like helpers. That's already a positive energy in my life that I can talk to and kind of encourage to do more of their important work. But let's focus on the shadow part now. Just identifying them. I usually draw them, I give them names. I use this method that we've developed in the course where I kind of imagine them and they show up in a chair, and I can ask them what they want or what they're protecting, and eventually I will see that they're just helpers that have been forced into a negative role, kind of. So the discussion usually is about how can I help them get back to their positive role out of their shadow character. And the main thing to do is just show them respect, show them appreciation that they've been working for me for so long, even though it's not always been positive for me, it's still been their intent to help me. And kind of give them a little bit of what they want. Usually they want to protect some sensitive parts of me. In internal family system, it's called exiles. In other words, it could be the wounded child or the inner wounded archetype or the wounded innocent. I think what we're working on the quest now. So when we got this quest, I immediately started working with this inner wounded boy and identified all these parts and have a discussion on how to get them out of the shadow and into the self energy, into the light. And so far, I've gotten a couple of them in. One of the first I noticed was the screen witch, not the witch. I used the Hulder. That's a Norwegian kind of a witchy character from mythology. So I call her the screen witch now. She was always tempting me to go to scroll on my phone and use whatever I could to distract myself. And I had this beautiful discussion with her, and I cried a lot, and we kind of agreed that she would become Solveig, who is this much more positive female energy who just wants to hold me and cuddle me when I'm in touch with my hard feelings. And yeah, it's magically how a lot of my attraction to going to the phone and the screens and whatever is disappearing in this work, and now I feel much more in touch with this self-love. And this is like this character's just changing energy. Oh my God, that was
Wow,
a few
beautiful.
minutes. Yeah,
Sounds amazing.
still in the shadow world, but yeah, world. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know if you know a little bit about the heroic identities that we use in the hero tribe, but we work with creating heroic identities, kind of creating a new identity in different areas of our life. But it also reminds me of the work that you now do because, well, we look at our like our physical persona, but you could also do it with the shadow parts to kind of put them in a new jacket, kind of, or activate the qualities.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah, I
much for
think I've heard
sharing.
about it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Super interesting. Yeah, and I can imagine that you can go on, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
And then we have the other half of the hero's journey, but we'll take that another day. So yeah, finding the treasure, of
Let's
course,
do that
that's
in part two, maybe.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we can definitely do a part two. Be happy. Um, but yeah, what would you, how would you kind of round up the cycle, even though that there's other steps to go through?
Yeah, I guess a main part of the treasure is actually just this changed parts of the psyche that are now helping me and being my friends, and they are like I see them and I acknowledge that that we have to work together, kind of, and that means that I'm changing, and this part of me, that's also part of me, of course, is changing, and this is a big part of the treasure that I can take back from the cave and go out and share with the world afterwards.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so that kind of wraps up the other part of the hero's
Yes,
journey.
yes. Yeah, I would say then, okay, and then we have the return home.
Yeah,
Like, what kind of, how do you overcome these obstacles? You went to the cave, you
yeah,
have this beautiful new persona, and
mm, yeah. The biggest obstacle for me, at least, is that life happens and you kind of forget all this thing and you slide back into old patterns where you're ignoring these voices again and they're starting to get more aggressive again. And yeah, like using mobile phones and screens, it's such a big part of my life that it's very easy to go back to the same way of doing all these things. Um, so I guess just having reminders and having practices that reminds me of this. Like this month, I every day I have one task that is to talk to these parts of myself and to sit with this inner child, wounded innocent, and kind of just be there. So this, if I do it often enough, they will start to trust me more, and I will start to eventually like have this new pattern in my life where I'm actually getting home for real and not just sliding back into the old world. So that's, I
mm,
guess, is the main thing for me. The biggest problem in returning home is that it's so easy to forget and take just go back. Mm.
so actively integrating. So having
Yeah.
doing the practice after that,
Mm.
making
Yes.
sure that it's integrated by
Yeah.
doing these
Yeah.
yeah, consistent
Yes.
check-ins. Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Mm.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I think also I'm, yeah, very happy.
Yeah, I see you.
Okay, I'm
Hello.
back. Yes. Vertical connection. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
like this. Okay, so yeah, thank you so for sharing. I don't know if you heard what I said, but I really am very grateful to be able to have learned about your approach and
Mm,
how you look at these things and how you practice it. I'd love
mm.
to try it out myself as well. And maybe one last question. What is your overall
You disappeared again. I don't know if you hear me, but my overall. Okay, we can try again. What is my overall?
what's your advice for any hero on their hero's journey? Like, what's your advice for them?
Ooh, I guess. Well, I guess it must be that just remember that you're a hero. It's so easy to feel that it's too much and it's unjust and it's you didn't deserve any of this and it's okay to feel that, but at some point just remember, but damn it, I'm a hero. This is life and I'm choosing to embrace it and go into it and accept it and kind of be a hero in the way that I choose to actively go into these feelings, go into this difficulty instead of just running away. Uh, I think it's the main thing around the hero's journey. All of the techniques for doing that, that's fine, but remembering that you're a hero and remembering that you are choosing to take on the responsibility of your life by not running away. That's the main thing for me, at
Mm,
least.
okay. Yes. Thank you so much on this.
You,
And for the ones who have watched this hero story, also you're very welcome to reach out to me to go into this talk. I'm happy to hear from you and all the best. Bye.
bye bye.